Crayola64 asked, hey, I don't know if you're still taking questions or how many you have on BPD, but I'm borderline too, and I would really like to know the different ways in which you cope, specifically with feelings about being a terrible person and ways to reconcile the neediness with an understanding of others' feelings. I struggle a lot with feelings of neediness and feeling like I'm a terrible person and like everybody hates me. For those of you who don't know, BPD stands for borderline personality disorder. This is marked by unstable moods, behavior, and relationships. People with BPD often have a fear of abandonment and idealize people so much that they panic and get paranoid when they feel like their loved ones or their friends are trying to leave them. I know I personally get attached to people very easily. Just like you need your personal space and your personal time, so does everybody else in your life. It's very easy to listen to the voice in your head that's telling you that nobody loves you, you're needy. When your brain is telling you all of these things, it can be really hard to just be like, no. That voice you need to recognize as a liar, and you need to replace those negative thoughts about yourself with positive thoughts. Instead, say to yourself, my family loves me, my friends love me, I am strong, I am smart, I am beautiful. Reinforce the idea that you are your own person, because with BPD, a lot of the times I would act on being manipulative or being needy or being controlling because I felt like I was BPD. I had no control over it. But that's not true. A lot of it is about feeling like I have control over, the personal relationships in my life and myself and my emotions. Being able to say to myself, I am in control of my emotions. This is not the BPD that is making me act this way. This is me, and I need to be accountable for my actions. Realizing I did have control over how I acted and reacted to situations was really empowering for me. When I feel myself starting to get envious or needy or whatever negative emotion, I stop myself and think, why am I feeling this? Is this important to me? And what can I do about it? You can only control yourself and who you are. Anyone's opinions of you in your life are just that, like their own opinions, and they have no control or power over you. Just think of yourself as a work in progress, and as long as you're noticing your behaviors that you want to work on and trying to work on those things every single day, you're not a terrible person. Just allowing yourself to be honest and open about your thoughts and feelings, especially if you're borderline, is so important to share those thoughts and feelings with your loved ones and friends. To understand someone with borderline, you have to listen to them, and in order for the people in your life to be able to understand you and where you're coming from, you need to let them in a little bit. Anonymous asked me, do you ever have manic episodes, and if so, how do you deal with it? I do sometimes experience manic episodes, which for me can look like a week of not sleeping. I'm very erratic. My thoughts are overwhelming. I'm just all over the place trying to do a million things at once. I like to go for a walk with my dog. I think just getting out of the house can clear your head. And I hate to be that person that's like, go exercise, but go exercise. It completely lifts my mood, like the endorphins will completely lift your mood. Painting, drawing, and writing can also be really good ways to release those negative feelings when you're feeling manic. I try to channel all of my energy into doing productive stuff like drawing or making YouTube videos or just writing a song about how sad and pissed off I am. It can be anything, honestly, just do things. Do you have any advice for the art students with depression? I am taking a year break after I had a breakdown last year, and now I am so afraid to go back because I'm afraid to relapse. Do you personally feel better in or out of uni, or it doesn't affect you that much in a mental health aspect? This is definitely something like I've had to deal with a lot these past few years. My advice to anyone who is mentally ill, who's about to go to college or who's in college, is your mental health is so much more important than any school will ever be. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I was in college was that I wasn't really on top of my mental health as much as I should have been. I put that on the back burner to a lot of other things in my life, like school and like my social life, when my gut was telling me that there wasn't something, like there was something wrong in my mind, and that the environment that I was in school, in college, wasn't helping. So I decided to leave. And leaving was a good decision for me personally, because when I went to college I was 18, which is like a normal age to go to college, but in my opinion I think that's pretty young to like decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. I'm kind of glad that I left school because it gave me time to really think about what I do want out of my life and who I am as a person and what I want to pursue, because I found out during the time that I was out of school that I don't exactly want to do what I initially thought I wanted to. Everybody is different. I can't exactly say whether you should go back to school or not, but if you're feeling nervous and afraid, literally afraid to go back to school, then I don't think you should go necessarily. A lot of my anxieties were triggered because of school, so it was very important and necessary for me to get my mental health situation figured out and a support system behind me and medication and stuff before I even considered going back to school. So I would definitely say, if you're afraid and anxious about going back to school, make sure you have your mental health figured out and straightened out before you go back, because you're gonna really regret it if you go back to school and have another breakdown or something. And it's just not worth putting yourself through all of that stress when you can just work on yourself. You can always go back to school. There's no rush. Like, allow yourself to heal and give yourself time to do everything that you need to do, because you have all the time in the world. Well, that's all the questions that I have. Thank you guys so much to everybody that asked me questions. Your questions were incredible. I was so unprepared for how good your questions actually were. I'm sorry that my answers are probably all over the place. Thank you for watching me as always. I love you guys so much. I'm thinking that this mental health thing might be like a Monday thing that I do every Monday. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys like that or what you guys want to see me do. I hope you guys are having a great day or week or whatever, and I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.